Tonight on The Struggle, going OTT over contract negotiations, the Great Barrier Reef or TikTok fame, which is more important? And we explore the complex geopolitical situation between China and Taiwan. Hello and welcome to our 10th season of The Struggle. Given the recent ousting of the coalition from government, we decided it was time to have a clean out of our own too. It's out with the old and in with Gen Z. And when we say old, we mean millennials. If you've ever owned a Tamagotchi, you're dead to us. Our generation is all about being more genuine, present, and living in the moment. So that's exactly why we've got things like the Be Real app. Phones take front and back photos simultaneously to capture us in our most natural surroundings. All done at a randomised time, dictated by an algorithm that sends us automated messages to respond to our electronic prompt, or else we'll be socially outcast. What could be more real than that? It's just great to be able to see people for who they really are. Anyway, let's head over to Birmingham, where Australian cricketer Tahlia McGrath tested positive to COVID on the morning of the team's gold medal T20 Commonwealth Games match against India. Despite the diagnosis, McGrath was allowed to play and was swamped in a group hug after the Aussie side claimed victory. This prompted fellow teammate Megan Shute to say, at the end, screw it. If we get COVID, so be it, giving the phrase hotspot a whole new meaning in cricket. Despite criticism being levelled against the Aussies, it should be noted that all players acted in accordance with current ignorance is bliss COVID settings. But if hugging COVID-positive people is now A-OK, isn't it time we did away with some other pandemic relics? Forget about the fact that Australia is still recording 25,000 new cases a day. Now is surely the time to be ditching those masks, farewelling the hand sanitizer, and ignoring public health advice. Speaking of trash, let's hit the thoughts of alpha male Max Payne.
Welcome to the Broject. Wait, what's this leftist prissy propaganda? One sec. There we go. I'm Max Payne, continuing to fail upwards, as all white men do. And it's getting harder and harder to be part of the boys club these days. These pinko, commie, feminist, cultural, Marxist, pedophile vampires are assaulting us on all sides. Can you believe men are actually being held responsible for their actions? Feminism has gone too far. Just in the past week, we've had the Bar-a-Lara inquiry, Donald Trump's house was raided, and most importantly, my news daddy, Alex Jones, lost a $50 million court battle. So how did these great men respond? They weaponized their incompetence and reveled in their victimhood? Hang on, that doesn't sound too right. I mean, that doesn't sound very alpha. Let me look into this. Let me read about this a little bit. Here we go. All right, let's see. So Bar-a-Lara claimed he was the victim and then cried. Trump claimed he was a victim and then his son cried about it on TV. Alex Jones said he's broke and he's trying to fundraise. There was that whole Dutton Voldemort thing. Okay, I kind of see that one. But Jordan Peterson cried about being suspended from Twitter. Boris Johnson accused other ministers of not having his back. Andrew Tate fled to Romania to avoid alleged human traffic charges. Brett Kavanaugh cried about his beers. Jesus Christ, this list goes all the way back to Jesus Christ. Wait, if all these powerful alpha males are victims, then doesn't that mean it's only a matter of time before I become a victim too? Oh God, why don't they ever understand, no matter how many times I try to mansplain? I'm only trying to help here.
Victim blaming and victim feigning, two of Max Payne's favourite hobbies. Moving on now, and 139 new species have been discovered in Australia just over the past year, with 131 of those classified as invertebrates. Although this number should probably be higher given recent sightings of another creature without a backbone. So to talk all things wild, we thought it best to bring on an expert. Our affectionately named Straya correspondent Bindi Prickle is here to tell us all about these new fascinating creatures.
Thank you so much for having me, Ren. I'm really excited to welcome you to Australia Zoo. May I introduce you and your viewers to a fascinating Australian animal called a Bar-a-Lara. This little guy comes from New South Wales.
Oh, I've never heard of this animal before.
Not many people have. The Barilaro tends to stay mainly out of sight, behind the scenes, if you will. When he finally does come out, his primary defenses are crying, dragging his opponent to kangaroo court, and teaming up with a bunch of big, scary magpies.
Okay, what can you tell us about this animal?
Actually, because of their covert ways, we don't really know too much about them. It's only been within the past few months that an inquiry has been called. A group of scientists have gotten together to further investigate these sneaky creatures.
Okay, well, is there anything we do know about the Barilaro? Anything interesting?
Well, we do know that there was once a plan between the New South Wales government and a company in America to bring this guy to a cushy New York enclosure. But as you can see, the Barilaro somewhat resembles a snake and shares many of the same attributes. This meant there were concerns it would steal prey from the better qualified Jay Westbird. So the plan was abandoned.
Why was that?
Well, like I said, it's all a bit of a mystery with the Barilaro. Some people say one thing and documents say another. There are a bunch of different stories. The research has only just begun. Who knows what furrier revelations will come to light.
All right, well, thank you for introducing us to the Barilaro, Bindi Prickle. We look forward to learning more about Australian animals soon.
Thank you, Ren. And as they say down under, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. As if the arts sector hasn't taken enough of a hit over the past few years, the recent end to Neighbours marked the beginning of a job hunt for many cast and crew. Former stars are pivoting to... Actually, no, let's just get rid of that word as well. To other media roles. Former stars are trying their hand at renovating, acting in ads, and even a bit of medieval cosplay. But it isn't just the Ramsay Street crew who have found themselves looking for new jobs. Gigs are few and far between for our very own theatre kid, who's been forced to make a living in the world of news entertainment. Take it away, Broadway baby.
I wanna have a needy ex. Stalked by China would be such a flex. We broke up in 1949. He still sends me his military all the time. I wanna be Taiwan, a main character like Taiwan. A fragile democracy with all this vulnerability. I wanna be swept off my feet by the US with more than a flirty tweet. If only I had some extra BP, he'd surely be obsessed with me. I wanna be Taiwan, a main character like Taiwan. The damsel in this song, with even more drama than Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, right. Well, we're off to a quick break. Hong Kong. It's a good song. Welcome back. Look, we may have declared a war against millennials, but here at The Struggle, we're all about age diversity. If you think we're all just a bunch of broke 20-year-olds reading news for fun, then you're right. But while we are fun, fresh and energetic, we love involving our senior peers, as long as they agree to free labour, have reliable health insurance, and are not named Karen, because we already have one and another would just be a handful. In the studio today, on her very first shift, is our boomer intern, Mark. Come over here, Mark.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hello. So right, I brought the wrong glasses. Hello, everybody. My name is Mark, and I'm excited to be here working with this very precious kiddos. Look at that. Oh, actually, you remind me of my little kiddos when they were in high school.
Oh.
Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to say hello to my best friend Linda, who's watching at home. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda.
All right, thank you, Mark.
I'll tell you all
off you
about
go
it.
back to your desk
Oh,
now.
yes.
Thank you. Yay. Well, Mark will be with us throughout the season, assisting us with some exciting social media research and keeping the team well fed with her homemade shepherd's pie with peas, her expertise. Over to politics now, and there has been a bit of talk about shady dealings of late. So I'm now joined by Dr. Phoebe Love. I'm sorry, what's your job title again?
So, a mindset coach by profession and just a bundle of joy otherwise. And this season at The Struggle, I'm going to be helping you struggling babies to go beyond the dark and negative news and focus on the positive side.
Okay, well that's wonderful, but what if there isn't a positive side?
Well, there's always a positive side, Ren. You just have to spin a bit to see it.
All right, can you give us an example?
Yes, let me enlighten you. So people hear the word corruption and they lose their minds. I personally think it's a misunderstood phenomenon. Firstly, you're too fixated on the word corruption, and now it's got all this bad reputation. I mean, if you really think about it, it's merely a convenience fee for all the high-risk services that are being provided. You dig? It's like a gift, a thank you from the universe.
Okay, but corruption is a bit of a serious issue. I mean, New South Wales MP John Sidoti was suspended just last week over allegations that he improperly used his position to influence the redevelopment of the 5 Dock Town Centre.
Look at me, Ren. Our leaders are so dedicated that even after having everything they have, their quest for more is as intense as ever. I mean, look at all these side hustles. If that is not promoting entrepreneurship, I don't know what will. So to that I say, hashtag keep grinding.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Phoebe, but it's time to hashtag stop grinding because that's the end of the...
I think I'm going to finish my first session with a quote from my positivity pouch. Oh. So, other people's opinion of you is not your responsibility. And if you see people around you are trying to tear you down, they're trying to pull you down, know it and believe it, that you've made it. Because it's all about the mindset. Okay, my young inklings, that's all from Misinformed. Tally 5.
And now, turning our attention to the recently concluded Aldi Olympics, aka the Commonwealth Games. Australia capitalised on the opportunity to flaunt its athletic superiority against some of the world's sporting heavyweights, including the likes of the Cayman Islands, the British Virgin Islands and Bermuda, countries which also happen to appear in the search histories of billionaires. Here in Australia, we love sport. We love sport so much that our regular news bulletin is almost a 50-50 split between news and sport. Some people become extremely invested in the lives of particular athletes and treat their wins as if they were their own. Whether this is cute or sad is a choice I'll leave up to you. Now, on the topic of sport fanatics, let's cross now to our sports reporter who seems to be undergoing a bit of sports therapy.
I'm just so devastated right now. I mean, Australian F1 driver Daniel Ricciardo just lost his seat at McLaren halfway through his 2-year contract. And to make matters worse, he's being replaced by a complete rookie, Oscar Piastri, another Australian driver. I mean, it's just so tacky. You can't just replace one Australian with another. That's just not how it works. Anyway, I think it's a bit embarrassing that McLaren is going to be replacing their only Grand Prix winner in almost a decade. I mean, how many races has golden child Lando Norris won again? Let me think about it. None. He hasn't won any. Speaking of embarrassing, what was that blunder by Alpine, prematurely announcing Oscar's 2023 debut, only to be rejected by the man himself on Twitter? Like, so awkward. Not the classiest start to Oscar's F1 career, mind you. It's a lot of drama to be going through just for a midfield seat. whatever. I'm just so devastated about Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, it's not like an 8-figure payout is just gonna heal the heartbreak that absolute ray of sunshine and his fans must be experiencing right now. Like, I'm just not sure how I'm gonna cope.
You know I'm a physiotherapist, right?
Who knew sport could make you feel so bad? Oh, keeping on the theme of bad sports, let's cross now to Karen Kvetch.
A video has recently been circulated of Dr. Monique Ryan, the MP for the federal seat of Kooyong, giving some interjecting opposition jeerers a stick on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Can the Minister please explain how he proposes to manage the oncoming national significant burden of disability and chronic illness? Put your masks on. From repeated infection.
This act has led to her being called a Karen by online haters. She was even called Queen of the Karens in the news. How ridiculous! A true Karen would not be caught dead wearing a mask. I am so sick of this narrative being pushed by dry vagina haters that any older woman who raises her voice or has an opinion is a Karen. Thus, today I will be reclaiming my name and re-establishing what it means to be a Karen. A Karen will always ask, nay, demand to see the manager if she encounters a minor inconvenience. A real Karen would not even think of standing for Parliament. It is, after all, smaller than Brighton.
Well, you get sick of walking the same streets. I've done all of Brighton.
And a real Karen would never, ever wear a mask.
And you're discriminating against me.
Discrimination. We're all just trying to all be in this together. We all have
All
to
in
wear a
what
mask.
together? I actually don't. And you're not authorised by the Australian government to even question me about it.
Lest we forget.
R.I.P. Karen. Now, as we go to the break, here's a preview into the life of one of our fresh-faced correspondents.
Hi, I'm Ashley, part-time vegan, freelance hand model, and full-time Collingwood resident, and I'm so excited to be joining the team at The Struggle. As a correspondent, I'm hoping to shed light on some of the most pressing issues of our time, like why aren't schools teaching our kids astrology? What does my North Face jacket say about capitalism? And how do I make my white guilt go away? Ever since my op-ed about the unifying power of the 86 tram was published in The Age, I've been passionate about amplifying myself. I mean, the voices of marginalized communities. My community, the Inner North. So join me for this spiritual journey of knowledge, of understanding, of Ashley.
Welcome back. Over to radio now, and Triple J, once Australia's youth music hub, is continuing to experience an exodus of young listeners who are apparently switching over to other stations, including Smooth FM.
Ren!
Oh.
You like Smooth FM? Why didn't you tell me you like Michael Bublé?
I'm not a Michael Bublé fan.
But you just said young people are switching to the Smooth.
Yes, I did, Mark, but a lot of young people also get their music by other means, like Spotify.
What's Spotify?
Okay, we're just going to leave that for another time.
Is Spotify...
Now let's head over to Apathetic Ashley for a lesson on how to be superficially selfless.
Is Spotify FM or AM?
If you've been paying attention to my TikTok this week, you may have heard something about bleaching. And no, it's not me having another hair rebrand. I'm so past that era. It's about the Great Barrier Reef. As someone who only eats meat on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and every second Sunday, I'm passionate about preserving the environment. And thanks to my social media campaign, #SaveTheReef, don't eat beef, the Great Barrier Reef has seen record recovery of coral in the north and central areas. It's the highest level of coral cover in 36 years, which also happens to be the same age as actress and singer Lady Gaga. Through my selfless advocacy, I've pieced together a comprehensive list of 3 ways that you can continue helping the Great Barrier Reef. Number 1, always use a reusable drink bottle. Plastic is choking our oceans, people. The girls and I are snorkeling in October, and I want to be looking at more than just your disposable capitalist conveniences. And if you have to use a single-use drink bottle, make sure it's Fiji. The water is much fresher. Number 2, if you're swimming near a reef, make sure you only apply biodegradable sunscreen. Your basic brands have chemicals in them that are harming the coral, and if you can't afford the biodegradable brands, you probably don't deserve to be swimming in the reef, bestie. Finally, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at InnerNorthAshley to continue hearing updates on the Great Barrier Reef, and more importantly, myself. Back to you, Ren.
Look forward to hearing more from you and about you this season, Ashley. With the voting demographic becoming younger, our politicians are recognising that being voted PM is about more than policy, leadership and good looks. It's now important for our pollies to be seen as cool and hip and up to date with the youth. Recently, Albanese appeared on the highly rated comedy program Have You Been Paying Attention? This has prompted opposition leader Peter Dutton to start handing in his resume to level with his competition. He didn't make it onto MasterChef or Love Island, but is apparently being considered for RuPaul's Drag Race. Apparently, his lack of facial hair has made him the perfect candidate for drag. Well, time now for a jarring infomercial to help pay for bills Labor hasn't yet reduced. Here with us in the studio today is our TV salesperson, Scamantha.
Thanks, Ren. Call me Scammy. Are you still hearing this in your office? Or this? And this? While you might reach for your face mask or face shields, now all you need is a Bag O' Air, brought to you by The Struggle. Reviewed by the Silver Fox himself, Brett Sutton, who recommends airflow and ventilation to keep you away from all the current and evolving nasties. What better way than to bring that airflow with you? Ventilate in trains, schools, or the Ruby Princess. Bag O' Air comes in various flavors: raspberry flavored air, bubblegum flavored air, and our best-selling flavor, egg and bacon muffin flavored air. Or our substitute Facon for our vegans out there. Bag O' Air is available online with free delivery for only $12.99 in packs of 2. Afterpay available. We are not responsible for any side effects including drowsiness, diarrhea, bankruptcy, gullibility, stanky breath, your dog dying, or COVID. Back to you, Ren.
Thank you so much, Scamantha. Now, earlier in the show, we featured Max Payne's solo program, The Broject. As if that wasn't enough, Max is also about to launch a pilot episode of his show in an interview format. Here's a sneak preview.
Welcome back to The Broject. I'm the host, but I don't feel like it.
Okay, well, I'm here to talk.
What's the point of it all anyway? We all just become victims in the end.
Cool, but that's not why I'm here.
You know when things really started going downhill? When ScoMo disappeared. Where are you, Scotty? I need your guidance.
Oh, come on, Max. I know you're feeling down, but don't you want to argue with me? I have body hair. My pronouns are in my Instagram bio.
Oh, these days, where is left for white men to assert their dominance? Where can we go to avoid that pesky will of the people?
It is in his hands. We trust in him. We don't trust in governments.
That's it. The church, of course. Thanks, ScoMo. I knew you'd come through for me.
This is getting weird.
Now, if only there was some way to get this good news out to as many people as possible, like through a television show, perhaps. That's it. Televised evangelism. I've got it.
I did not sign up for some cold shit. I'm out of here.
Who the hell was that?
Really looking forward to the rest of that interview, Max. Well, that brings us to the end of the first episode of the season. And just a quick note on the whole Gen Z versus Gen Z pronunciation debate. Obviously in Australia it's Gen Z, as in Z-E-D. But you'll be forgiven if you do say Gen Z, as in easy under Albanese. But for now, the struggle, it's real.
Wanna be Taiwan, a main character like Taiwan, a fragile democracy with all this vulnerability.